Turmoil in the streets of Venezuela.
International condemnation of the government. Shortages of everything, from money to food.
Nicolas Maduro, get out.
Keeping that dictatorship afloat.
President Trump
Fired rubber bullets and tear gas.
The protest against the government's been going on for months.
3 million Venezuelans have left their country.
Political turmoil in Venezuela.
They've been building the barricades across Venezuela for days.
This video series is my account of spending 2 weeks as a tourist in Venezuela. What you are about to see is what I personally witnessed whilst in the country. Nothing more, nothing less.
Venezuela.
At least take the car. But the guys didn't want the car. They just tell us, please get in the car. We should do both.
Welcome back to Cherry, Maine, on the coast of Venezuela. Caribbean Sea right there. This morning we're going to an area where one of the women who work here, who just cooked breakfast for us, she is going to take us to where she lives, which is actually a squatter's residence. It used to be a resort, but as tourism is basically non-existent in Venezuela these days, a lot of the resorts have been just abandoned and people have moved in there and made their lives in the hotels and in the resorts. We're going to go and explore, see the situation. I know it's very, you might think, you know, this is kind of messed up where I'm staying in a place like this, and then we're going to be going and seeing, you know, a more hard, real, raw life of the Venezuelan people. But I couldn't stay anywhere else than a place, you know, which has security, and I definitely couldn't stay over there. This is the only real place I can stay because it's a very dangerous country. There's risks of just walking out on the street, even being in your own home, people can break in. And I also think it's important to show both sides of the coin, you know, this kind of more luxury area and then the harder, rougher life that majority of Venezuelans live. So this is my friend Jose. Jose, where are we right now?
We are in Chirmena coast, and here now in the entrance for an abandoned resort that was to be a project that could never be ended as well, and the bank took it, and nowadays it's invaded from downtown people.
So they went bankrupt?
Yes.
The lady that's going to be showing around, she works for you?
Yes, Eileen works in our hotel. She's the one that cooks and cleans.
How big is this resort, or was this resort?
This resort was in project, has three stages. The first stage, as we're gonna see now, is complete. The second stage is like half complete, and the third stage is almost like 30% complete. Each stage was been for like 20 rooms, or rooms that nowadays are homes. It was a huge project.
So Lenny, you were saying that you think this place is potentially dangerous?
I don't know, maybe, because, you know, if people are able to enter a place that don't belong to them and say they're living without permission, it can be, they can do anything.
So all these rooms along here were supposed to be part of the hotel. Jose's dad there was actually offered to invest here, but they decided not to, and obviously a good decision. Now obviously you can see it's just squatters' residence, so we should be reasonably safe though, because Jose's staff member works here. But
Mira, conocí a Nico y viene visitando en Nueva Zelanda.
Ah, bueno, aquí estamos la orden, ¿o yo?
¿Qué más, papá?
Aquí la orden.
Oye.
Hola.
De Venezuela. Ven, mira, el Nico viene visitando.
Hola. So yeah, this hotel wasn't even actually complete. Some stages were, and guests were coming, but some areas weren't. You can see here, because of the financial crisis, it went bankrupt. You can see it would have been a stunning place, but sadly, never made it. So we've met some kids and we might ask them a few questions. Has he lived here his whole life?
¿Tú vives toda tu vida aquí, David? ¿Siempre has vivido aquí? ¿Sí? ¿Y qué tal? ¿Te gusta? He said he likes to live here.
He enjoys it?
Yes, and he has been here all his life.
Okay. Do his parents live here?
David, ¿y tus papás también viven contigo?
Sí.
His father's living with him.
Okay. And what do they do? Like, do they work or are they just...
¿Y tus papás qué hacen? Pescan, trabajan. Ah, la pesca. ¿Y ustedes son dos hermanitos? ¿Son los tres hermanos? Sí, él es. Viene de Nueva Zelanda y quiere conocerlo, todo lo que es Venezuela.
¿Ustedes tienen carro?
Claro,
Sí.
¿cómo se vienen de Caracas?
Yes, his father's work with fish and other stuff.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias, gracias
Yeah.
David. Tú también vas a chupar. Aquí hay mucha...
So Jose was just telling me that a lot of the fishermen have just kind of lost so much work because fish used to be a huge industry here in Venezuela, fishing and things, but with the financial crisis, the engines and the maintenance of the boats became almost impossible for a lot of people. So engines were stolen. There's like a pirate network further down the coast and things, and so they come along and they just strip the boats, steal everything. Even Jose's car, he got in his car one day, started driving, the car stopped working, and that's because they completely drained all the oil out of the engine. That's how like desperate people are. They'll drain a car's oil from underneath. The desperation here for a lot of things is incomprehensible, as I've said many times during this Venezuela series. Jose was actually also kidnapped once, so we're going to ask him about that later in this video. Yeah, every day you're hearing these stories, like frequently. It's not a rare thing, you know. It's everybody you talk to knows or has had this done to them. Pots and pans. Yeah, kitchen. Maybe this is some kind of area to wash yourself. You can see shampoo down there. So you can see down there you've got the pottery kind of tiles there. Then you've got the corrugated iron roofs. So they obviously completed part of the resort and they hadn't finished this part. So Jose was just telling me that a lot of the houses down around in this resort here actually have satellite TV, and that's because of some of the residents actually steal the satellites from richer houses. Is that right, Jose?
Yeah, it's very surprising because you can see that the half of the houses here has satellite TV. That in some years ago was something very expensive to have. But if you go to the barrios in Caracas, almost you can see that like 30%, 40% of the barrios in Caracas that are in really bad situations, economic bad situations.
Barrios means slum, right?
Slums.
Yeah.
They earn and they have satellite TV in their houses, in their homes.
Apparently like 10, 15 years ago, just all the slums in Caracas just started popping up with satellites everywhere, and that's because they'd go into richer neighborhoods, steal the satellites and bring them over and wire them into their own house. These people are very smart and crafty. It's, you know, no words. So this is somebody's house here?
Yes,
Yeah.
su casa. Her house. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Adi.
Adi, nice to meet you. Wow. So this is the kitchen.
¿Te vienes del pueblo? Caminando.
¿Qué?
¡Ven!
Bedroom. Winnie the Pooh.
¡Ven acá! ¡Toma!
Jose, can you ask what she mainly cooks in the kitchen here?
Él pregunta que más o menos qué es lo que sueles cocinar.
¿Lo que qué?
Lo que sueles cocinar para comer aquí. Más o menos qué comidas son las típicas tuyas.
Arroz y pescado y arepa y pescado.
Rice and fish. Arepa and fish. Most of fish with something.
And the fish is caught by people living here?
El pescado es de aquí de Chile,
Sí.
Yes.
Is she like happy living here?
¿Cómo te sientes vivir aquí?
Bien.
Fine.
Beautiful views.
Alrededor bien, lo malo son los vecinos, pero bien.
She says he loves here. The only bad thing is the neighbors.
What's wrong with the neighbors?
Porque dice que lo malo son los vecinos.
Ay, no, porque vivo hasta con mis hermanos, pero todo es una pelea, todo, o sea, no se puede vivir bien así en esa
Because every neighbor is fighting all the time.
Fighting like, and what
¿Discusiones
about?
de qué tipo? Por
Ay, no.
por convivencia.
Por sí,
lluvia,
por todo, por todo.
Because
Porque la brisa
everything.
sopla.
Because the wind blows, because the sound, because music, because parties,
Okay.
because everything.
Muchas gracias.
Dice que le encanta la vista.
Ah,
Hasta la vista. Hasta luego.
Déjalo que se pierda por ahí. Javier, que se fue por allá. Sí.
esa tigra.
Hola.
Hola.
Pase, pase.
¿Podemos pasar?
Sí.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Permiso. ¿Quién pueda? Gracias.
Tigra, carajito.
What are these
Diplomas from school, high school, maybe the sons or their families.
Okay.
Studies. This is a high degree of technique, half technician degree.
Is that university?
Yes, not the 5 years university. Are the techniques are like 2 years university,
Okay.
like electricity.
Like tradespeople?
Yes.
Okay.
Buenas.
Una pieza. Está bueno para hacerle fotos. Mire, él es Nick, viene de Nueva Zelanda, viene visitando.
Tienes que esperar cuando esté Carlito, nana aquí. Ella te manda eso.
Ven acá.
Bueno.
He's boss. See more of the satellites here. Do these houses have toilets?
Toilet, yes.
Do they have running water? Do they have to pump it themselves?
They have to pump it themselves with a bottle.
At least it's got an amazing view, eh?
Yes.
That's $1 million view right there.
Sí.
Chao, gracias, amor. ¿Te puedo hacer una fotito? Vamos a hacer una fotito. Claro, se llevaron lo que tuvieron que llevarse.
So we've just come down from the abandoned buildings there, just come down to the beach, and my friend Jose's got an interesting story to tell about being kidnapped, so I thought we'd share it with you because it's pretty intense.
I was with my girlfriend arriving home. When we get down the car to just few meters to get in our homes, two guys just walk out of the shadows. I think maybe they were like beside a tree or something, and they just point us with both with guns and tell us to get in the truck. In this moment, obviously, I just tell them like take the keys. Take the car. It's material. No? But the guys didn't want the car. They just tell us, please get in the car. We shoot you both here. We get in the car.
They said they'd shoot you if you didn't get in the car.
Yes, the first words they did is like, get in the car, I kill you.
What kind of guns were they?
9mm for sure, Glocks, that were guns usually used for by policemen here. When we tell stories to the policemen department, they tell that probably they were police or ex-police officers because they take the guns. We get in the car and they just put in the back of the seats of the truck. They start driving and they start asking us how they could get out of the city. Obviously, I was with my girlfriend. In Venezuela, it's really, really dangerous. because of all the stories we heard now about rape, killing. So we try to cover. I try to cover her with last sweaters I have in the car and some clothes and bags, so they see the less they can see of her.
So you tried to cover her skin?
Yes, I like to cover the most because we was like eating, so she was pretty good looking that day. They took the highway out of Caracas via Guarenas town, is between Chirimena and Caracas. They were asking how to get in a place called Parque Caiza. When they told me that, I was really nervous because Parque Caiza is a place well known because they threw bodies there, where bodies of assassination, people, of kidnaps. That is like a common place to like here you can throw trash in here. That street, that zone is well known because they throw the bodies there. So I start talking with them, like very nervous obviously and distracted. So they pass the way, get to that street. They like try to stop the car, but it was the highway, so they try to get return. They can't, so they start accelerating the car again, the truck.
So you thought that they were trying to like dispose of your bodies?
Yes, it was very hard to say, but there is no other reason to go that zone. It's a very lonely zone. It's like a curve in a mountain with bricks, and that's why they go there, because they throw the bodies down the risk, so people don't find the bodies like in 2 days because the smell, or 3 days. So they start like fighting between them. Well, the street is beside. Well, get return. No, we can't get return. So they start accelerating and try to talk between them. What we wanna do with them? Where we wanna leave them? So they take the next street in the highway, the next exit. One of them told, shoot them here, and the other one was like calm. I don't know if this is a game between them, like bad cop, good cop. But the one that tell us to get down, open the door, like I push my girlfriend down, and I like try to stay like 3 seconds in the door. I think that was the 3 seconds, the longest seconds in my life. Everything passes by my head because while I was giving the back, I was hearing the guy, shot him here. So I wait the 3 seconds, my girlfriend start running, I get out the car, and they just turn around and return to the highway exit, yelling about us and leave us there. Then when we were running up through the highway, it's like some long homeless guys start following us again, like trying to rob us. And we were like, damn guys, these guys, they just leave us here in the highway, and now the homeless guy is following us, yelling to us because they want to rob us again. So it was like, you get out of the robbery and you start running because someone's wants to rob you again.
Okay.
It was really a bad day for us.
So people didn't want to pick you up when you were walking along the highway?
Yes, our first reaction was we were like, well, obviously we are scared people because we were crying. We were like, my girlfriend, like well dressed, asking for help in the highway, like with hands, like, hey, please hurry up, we've been robbed. And nobody stopped because in Venezuela it's very common that the thieves use the strategies. Even they take pregnant women asking for help, or they simulate that their car is broke, and when you stop to help them, they just get out of the forest and rob your car and kidnap. So nobody stops. It's incredible. Nobody. It's a highway. You don't know and it was like 7 o'clock, so it was really soon in Venezuela. That is a highway really
7 a.m. or 7 p.m.?
p.m.
And how did you get home?
We started running upstairs to Caracas, but through the highway, and there was the moment that when the two homeless people like see us. They were the other side of the highway, the way down out of Caracas, so they crossed the highway and start running through us, back to us. And my girlfriend and me just start running up to the highway, and I like try to run like 4 meters. I like to go slower so I can yell the guys so they don't get us. It sounds like a movie, you know? You've been robbed. The truck is out of your life, and now the homeless people want to rob you, and the people you might know that is living on the highway won't stop to help you because they are scared too. and it's like the scare with the scare.
And you
because
couldn't
of
call the
scare.
police oh, you didn't have a phone to call the police?
We have no phones, and when we arrived to the fire station, the first fire station we found, there was like 3-4 National Guards, a place with National Guards.
National Guards are what, for people that don't know what a National Guard
the
of Venezuela
soldiers,
is?
Venezuela soldier is called Guardia Nacional, the National Guards. They are used here in Venezuela since Chavez as police. They are in streets, they are protecting people in several points in the highways and in residence. When we arrived there, the guys were like really like sleepy, like sick, and we were like desperate, like we are running, a guy is looking for us, we've been kidnapped, my trucks is being in the road to Guarenas. Maybe if you call someone, you intercept them, and they were like, oh, okay, you are the 5 guy, live here this night, make the report, policemen in Caracas, we can help you.
So this is extremely common, these kind of stories. This isn't like a rare
their
case.
face
No.
were like, okay, it's raining today. Oh, yes, it's raining. Just take umbrella, open the umbrella, and walk to your home, and you will get any wet.
And then the following day, didn't somebody rob you at gunpoint? Or?
Yes, the following day we go to we was traveling to the police department to make all the announcement because of the truck, some data they need to start looking for the truck, and in the
So you were making a police report, right?
Police report, so see if they can found the car, and in the 3 streets nearby the police department, some guy touched the glass of the car. When I turned around, the gas was another guy in a motorcycle with a gun telling me to give his cell phone. I was like, really? And the guy just take my cell phone and leave. So I was like second robber. In the second day, they just take my cell phone off, a phone that was like a old phone I was using because my phone was in the truck, obviously, by the kidnappers. So this guy take my old phone, of my replacement phone, he took it away in the way to make the police report.
So we've come back to the house here. I don't really need to describe what you've seen and heard today. I must say the people seem reasonably happy, apart from the disputes with the neighbors. Apparently it's due to, we asked a bit more, and apparently it's due to fighting over food, mainly as the fights up in that abandoned resort is where a lot of the fights come from. Is many people living together. Some of those houses we went into have like 15 people living in them, and sometimes they start fighting about like who ate my food and things like that. But a bit of a brutal video, especially with that story about the kidnapping. But this isn't a rare case, guys. Everybody has these stories. Presenting what I'm seeing, sorry if it is quite a negative video, but I mean, I think it's important to show the scene. And again, here I am back at this really nice place in the Caribbean Sea, but that's the situation in a nutshell here in Venezuela, I must say, so from what I've seen. Anyway, see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Ella es lo que siempre yo estaba esperando, para que llegara a cambiarme la vida, y si yo la veo que se devuelve, vuelve.